For my semester project, I traveled to 4 different beaches to see different types of tide pools and to compare and contrast the observations I found at each one. The first place I went to was Duxbury Reef, which is about 1 mile west of Bolinas. Before I arrived, I did research on when the best time to come was and where I'd find the most interesting marine life. I found the Duxbury Reef was home to seaweed, which includes algae, bull kelp, feather bow kelp, and surf grass. I also observed some sea anemone in the tide pools, closest to the ocean. Unfortunately, we did not find any starfish, which are known to be beautiful at Duxbury Reef, but we still had a nice trip and got to explore a place I'd never been before.
So we just finished at Duxbury Reef in Bolinas. It's currently 46 degrees outside. It's freezing. My hands are numb. I can't even feel them. But it's a minus tide right now, so we saw some really cool sea life. Hopefully they got some good footage of that you guys can see. And then we are now on our way to Muir Beach, which is only a couple miles away. So let's see what we get.
Next, we went to Muir Beach, which is located in Marin County and only around 13 miles away from Duxbury Reef. When at Muir Beach, we had to walk around 5 to 7 minutes down the beach to get to the tide pools. When we arrived at Muir Beach, the first thing I noticed was the thousands of sea mussels attached to the rocks surrounding the tide pool, which was very different compared to Duxbury, as I did not see a single sea mussel there. I also noticed green anemone on the rocks bordering the different tide pools, which is something I'd never seen before and was not at Duxbury Reef. At Muir Beach, there was also many more separate tide pools, as opposed to Duxbury, where they were all more attached to each other. A few days later after Muir Beach, we headed to Point Reyes. Point Reyes is very different from both Duxbury and Muir Beach in many ways. Point Reyes only had a little section of tide pools, while both Muir and Duxbury had several tide pool spots you could go to. Bordering the tide pools were big rocks covered in algae, which made it hard to walk across the tide pools. At Point Reyes, I also did not find any marine life living in these tide pools, as it was mostly just sand and rock. Even though there was not as much to observe at Point Reyes regarding tide pools, the location itself was beautiful, and I'll definitely try to come back again sometime soon. Lastly, we went to Ocean Beach, which is located on the west coast of San Francisco. My dad actually grew up minutes away from Ocean Beach, so he took me to a few of his favorite spots on the beach. Unfortunately, we did not find any tide pools around Ocean Beach. We walked a mile and a half up and down the beach and were not able to find any sort of tide pool, as this beach was mostly flat and all sand. However, we did find some interesting marine life, such as crabs and many seabirds surrounding the area. Overall, I learned so much from this project, and I'm definitely going to try to get out to the beach more often, as I take it for granted how close it is.